And now for something completely different. Something that will make you question everything you know and everything you've been told. This is a story that involves global conspiracies, cover-ups, and the most terrifying what-if scenario of our times. What if COVID never really happened? Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't one of those wacky tinfoil hat theories. It's not about people in basements. It's not about lizard people. This is a theory rooted in hard facts, leaked documents, suspicious patents, and the strange behavior of those in power. In this expose, we'll dive deep into one of the most controversial theories of the 21st century. That COVID-19, the disease and the pandemic were never just about a virus. It was part of a hidden global agenda, a sinister plot to control and depopulate the world. Before we begin, remember, this is a theory, a perspective that challenges the official narrative. We present it to you for your consideration. Your own judgment is what matters. Now let's start at the beginning. The year is 2019. A novel coronavirus has been identified in Wuhan, China. The World Health Organization is informed. At first, the reports seem manageable, even routine. A new virus, yes, but the situation is under control. Or is it? Fast forward to March 11, 2020. The WHO declares COVID-19 a pandemic. The world is in shock. Borders close, economies crumble, and fear grips the globe. The pandemic is here. But what if I told you there was more to this pandemic than met the eye? What if the architects of this crisis were the very organizations tasked with our safety? Enter Bill Gates, the Microsoft co-founder turned global health influencer. In early 2020, Gates becomes one of the biggest donors to the World Health Organization. Millions of dollars flow in, raising questions about influence and agendas. Why is Gates pouring so much money into the WHO? And how much influence does he really have over the organization? Then there are the leaked documents. Internal correspondence seems to show that the WHO was fully aware of the gravity of the situation long before the official lockdowns. Did they act too late on purpose? Were they playing a waiting game for reasons unknown? The conspiracy deepens when we look at Event 201, a pandemic simulation held just weeks before the actual event. The players are all there. The WHO, the WEF, the CDC, even Bill Gates. They run through pandemic scenarios, discussing lockdowns, travel bans, social distancing. It's like they knew what was coming. But the biggest bombshell comes from the strange behavior of some world leaders. Take, for instance, Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister who dithered on lockdown measures, even as cases spiraled. His indecision cost lives. But was it intentional sabotage? Was he deliberately wrecking his own country's response to the pandemic? The answer, according to our sources, is yes. There was a concerted effort to downplay the virus, to confuse and distract the public. If the aim was to control the world, a panicked population wouldn't be helpful. They needed people to comply. And compliance comes much easier when there's confusion. Which brings us back to the fundamental question. Was the WHO just a puppet in all of this? Were they simply following a script written by shadowy puppeteers behind the scenes? As we dig deeper, the pieces of the puzzle start to fit a horrifying picture. We have evidence that some countries, including the UK, deliberately sabotaged their own pandemic response, allowing the virus to spread while claiming it was under control. This was no accident. It was part of the plan. If you think this sounds like a wild conspiracy, consider this. In February 2020, the US and UK governments file a patent for a system to monitor compliance with COVID-19 quarantines. The patent, filed just weeks after the outbreak, describes a system to track citizens under quarantine using mobile phones and other devices. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? But what's truly chilling is that the patent was filed in 2017, 3 years before the pandemic. How could they have known about the pandemic 3 years in advance? Then there's the case of Dr. Katsimatides, a Greek doctor who sounded the alarm about the virus in January 2020. He warned the world that the virus was spreading and urged immediate action. Yet the WHO and other health organizations ignored him. Why? According to our sources, there was a concerted effort to suppress the truth. If the whole world knew how serious the virus was, panic would have ensued. And panic wasn't the desired outcome. Not yet, anyway. So there you have it. The COVID pandemic may have been a planned event, a sinister plot to control the world's population under the guise of a health crisis. If you thought the world was complex before, it just got real complicated. Remember, this is a theory presented to you for your consideration. We encourage you to think for yourself and draw your own conclusions. Because in the grand theater of global politics, nothing is as it seems, and everything is a lie. Unless, of course, it's all just a big mistake. Thank you for watching. Please share this video if you found it informative. Stay tuned for more.